Hello, this is my demonstration speech on how to crochet. This is my audience. There's just only one person. But it is okay. Okay, so crochet has a long history from the 1800s. It's been around for hundreds of years. It has been around in a lot of clothing pieces and a lot of history. A lot of mothers used to make like blankets and clothes for their kids, especially baby blankets, as they were fairly easy to make and fairly not complicated. Crochet is still a prevalent um, form of fashion here in the 20th century, as people still use it to make fashion statements. A lot of people use it to make like album covers, as like a blanket or pieces of clothing like a skirt or a top, which they can use in their fashion and to style it. People also still use it to make blankets as well as pillows, or they can use it for aesthetics, and you make like pieces like flowers or plants, make home decor. It's used in a lot of different forms and a lot of different ways. There's also a lot of different yarns that you can use. Some people use like acrylic yarn or silk yarn, and it really just depends on the look that you're going for or the piece of article you are trying to make. There are a lot of different forms of needles as well. So a needle is this, also known as a hook. There's a lot of different sizes. The most common size is, I would say, a 5 millimeter. But you can use different sizes for the different kinds of looks that you're going for. So the bigger the needle is the bigger the hook, or the bigger the bigger the loop, and the smaller the needle is the smaller the stitch as well. So to get started, you will need your yarn and your hook, and basically you would make a 4, and pull it through like you're making a knot, but instead of making the knot, you're just gonna pull like halfway through to get a little hoop, and then you would put it on your hook. This is most standard for if you're right-handed, and if you're left-handed, it's basically the other way around. It's a little bit more complicated, but it's basically the same technique. And you basically just want to hold it with your index finger holding the string taut and then holding it right at the base of the hoop. And you want to pull over the hook and pull it towards you. And once it's pulled towards you, you want to pull it through the hoop, and you will start creating what is called a chain stitch. And you just keep doing that over and over again. And once you get your desired amount, you turn your work sideways and you go into the chain. So it's like a little V shape, and you go right into the middle of it. There are different kinds of stitches as well. So this is called a single stitch, which is where you insert your hook and then pull through, and then you have 2 hoops on your chain, or on your hook, and then you pull forward and you pull through both of them. But then there's also a double stitch where you loop over your hook, and then you insert it, and then you pull through. So now there's 3 chains on your hook, and then you pull through 2, and then you hoop again, and then you pull through again, and then that creates a double. So it just depends on the look that you're going for. A double stitch makes it a little bit taller, but it also gives a different look. And then a single stitch, it just looks singular, as the double stitch, it gives a little bit taller, so it looks like more of a line. Okay, and once you have all of that, you will begin to make a square, or depending on what you're trying to make. But in order to make the square, you just keep going in your hoops and pulling forward, and eventually you will get a hoop. And then when you get to the end of your stitch, you just rotate it the other way. So you just rotate it, and you just do the exact same thing. You go through the chain, and you pull forward, or you loop over, then you pull forward, then you loop over again, and then you just pull through. And you just keep doing that till eventually you have what you're looking for. And there's a lot of different things that you can make. Like I said, blankets, clothes, and it is kind of complicated, but once you get the hang of it, it's fairly easy, and it's not that hard to create a new hobby or get a new piece of clothing. And you might see a lot of crochet pieces that you might want to buy, and when you could just make it yourself instead of spending the money to make it yourself. Again, here is my audience, and that's the end of my speech. Okay, bye.